It has been a tough time for SoCal street vendors. Earlier this month, we told you about a crackdown of unlicensed vendors in Fullerton. At least 5 taco stands cited and equipment seized. That weeks after 6 LA taco trucks were robbed at gunpoint. Despite the bad news, street vendors in LA have a very rich and untold history. With more, we're joined once again by our expert of all things Los Angeles, Evan Lovett, behind the successful LA in a Minute Instagram account and host of the In a Minute podcast. Evan, it's always great to see you. Mondays, that is his night that he is here with us at 6 o'clock. We appreciate it. Street vendors, this dates back to the 1800s in tamales.
This is a pretty neat story. I'm always doing a lot of reading about Los Angeles. This book by Harrison Newmark called 60 Years in Southern California, which was written in 1916. It's a contemporaneous account of his upbringing in Los Angeles in the 1800s. And he documents the first street vendor in Los Angeles, in this culture where street vending is so intertwined with the city and with the people. And it was a man named Nicolas Martinez, and he was a Mexican-American, and he would have a bucket on his head, a basket on his head with 2 compartments. One side was tamales, and the other side was a form of ice cream, and he kept them separated in the basket and cool and warm with towels, and he would sell these wares on the streets all the way up from what was 7th and Spring to Sonora Town, and he would sell the tamales for 5 cents each and the ice cream for 10 cents for a scoop. And the funny thing is, he had the basket on his head because in one hand he had glasses and spoons with water that would sort of clean itself as he was walking. I mean, health codes weren't then what they are now. And the other hand, he liked to roll a cigarillo while he was hawking his wares. So
oh my goodness.
That was the first street vendor.
Nicolas Martinez.
There you go.
I'd take a tamale and some ice cream. Okay, so we're talking about the crackdown I just mentioned in Fullerton. There's been this isn't nothing new though, between restaurateurs, fast food vendors. Take us back.
So talk about an ongoing Los Angeles issue spanning 130 plus years. In the 1890s, they first started to regulate street vendors because they thought they were cutting into the restaurant's business. So they didn't let tamale wagons operate before 9 p.m. because they didn't want them to come in the restaurant business. Luckily, there was a councilman named Fred Wheeler who knew the impact of the street vendors and said the street vendors are part of what put LA on the map. So he actually shepherded a legalization where street vendors could operate, tamale vendors specifically, for $1 a month. And that was the first legal street vendors. But Los Angeles, again, we keep hearing this story, once Olvera Street and places started popping up, especially with Americanized Mexican food, they didn't really like the street vendors sort of encroaching on their territory. So they started to push them back to, let's say, their cultural centers. And the restaurants were gained priority. But what ended up happening to fill that void in the 1940s, hot dog stands started popping up and hot dog vendors. 2 notable ones, which include Pink's, LA institution, and Carl's Jr., which actually started as the Blimp in South Los Angeles as a hot dog stand. So that was sort of stemmed from the street vendor culture in Los Angeles.
Well, unfortunately, we're basically out of time, but I want to bring it full circle because now there's more than 50,000?
50,000 street vendors, 10,000 of which sell food. 500,000 jobs have been created in the last 30 years from street vending, and 80% of the street vendors in Los Angeles are minority or low income. So
and female.
There's a lot of female, exactly.
I'm going to get that
very
in there.
Important for the culture of Los Angeles and very delicious.